The cafeteria sells cookies for $1.25 each. They sell an average of 120 cookies per day. Research shows that for every 25-cent increase, 10 fewer cookies will be sold. So in A, it says to create an equation to model the situation. Well, what you need to know is, in order to create the equation, is the cat sells cookies for $1.25 each. They average about 120 cookies per day, and then with a 25-cent increase, 10 less cookies are sold. Now, to create the equation, you need to know 4 key pieces of information. In the first bracket, you need to know the price of the cookie and the increase in price per cookie. And the second bracket, you need to know amount of cookies sold on average and the amount of sales dropped. So, in the first bracket shown here, you will have $1.25 plus 0.25 cents and then X, because that is the price of the cookie and the increase in price per cookie. In the second bracket, you'll have $125 because that represents the amount of cookies sold on average minus 10X, which resembles the amount of sales dropped. And that is how you create the equation. Step 2. Determine the selling price that will maximize revenue. Number 1, you have to find X at max value, and number 2, sub into the price equation. So there's 2 equations, R and S. The first equation is going to resemble $1.25 plus 0.25 cents X equals 0, because you want to send both equations to 0. Then, since I want to isolate X, I'm going to put 0.25X on the other side of the equal sign and 125 on the other side of the equal sign. Since I moved the 125, it becomes negative. Once I calculate into my calculator, X equals negative 5. S. You're gonna do the exact same thing. So you're gonna take the 120 minus 10X equals 0. Then you go 120 equals 10X, and when I type into my calculator, that equals 12X. Step 2. You're going to type into the formula X equals R plus S divided by 2. Then you're going to type in X equals negative 5 plus 12 divided by 2 equals 1. Therefore, the new price equals $1.25 plus $1.25 plus 0.25 cents, bracket 1, and that totals up to 1.5. Therefore, the new price is $1.05. Now moving on to the second question. Just need to find my page. So, it takes 4 hours to travel from point A to point B. How long will it take to travel from point A to point C? So when I did this equation, this solution, I did 7 steps. My first step is you want to try and find the dotted line that gives you from point A to point B. So I'm just going to show you with my paper the triangle. Okay. So you want to try and find the dotted line that goes from point B to point C. To do this, you're going to use cosine law. Cosine law's formula is c squared plus a squared equals, subtract 2 cos big C, as you can see right here. As you can see right here. Step 2 and 3. You want to try and find the angles in triangle B, D, and C, which are located point B, as you can see right here. What I did first was I found one angle, so I used sine law. Once I did sine law, I subtracted 80 degrees and 45.25 degrees from 180 to give me the third angle, which equals 54.77. Step 4. I want to try to find an angle H, as located right here. So I subtracted 54.77 from 120, which was the original angle given, which equaled 65.2 degrees. Step 5. To find the third triangle from ABC, I subtracted 65.23 and 35 from 180, which equals 79.77. Now we have figured out all the angles. Step 6. Now I want to find the length from point A to point B using sine law. The formula for sine law is divide sine big A equals B divided by sine big B, which equals 486.37 kilometers. Then divided by 4 hours to get how many kilometers in 1 hour. The total came to 121.59 kilometers per hour. Step 7. Now we need to find the length from A to C by using sine law. Once I calculated, I took the answer, which was 829.7. That's the length from A to C, and divided it by 121.59 kilometers, and that's how I find the hours, which equals 6.8 hours. Therefore, to get from point A to point C, it equals 6.8 hours. And here's the triangle just one more time. Now, for the third question, finance. My cousin was on a job for 4 months.